We got a Kenner Toys kind of preview advert booklet. We can go through, see all the toy lines they were wanting people to buy. This one's from 1996, so this will be pretty different on the toys available. And right there, boom, page 1, Star Wars coming back. Because they were going to do the Star Wars special editions, and they were trying to get the movies back out there in people's minds, so they had toys coming back, brand new, for the 90s. And that's how I was able to get into Star Wars. Get the VHS tapes to watch the movies. Luckily I didn't have to wait too long in between to get to see the next one. But these are all the toys I definitely was hunting as a kid and really got me into Star Wars. I have some videos of the first waves and such of these and others. Here's the Crazy Deluxe. I always remember seeing the store and going, why these things aren't in the movie? That was always a big thing right off the bat. It was like, was it in the movie or not? That's what's more important for me. Always wanted that Millennium Falcon, but never got it, but had some of the ships and things at least. Pretty awesome. Doing all Shadows of the Empire. Definitely played with my Dash Rendar figure quite a bit after playing the Nintendo 64 game. I might have to get myself a Slave 1 ship as well. We got Gargoyles, one that I never got to really get into as a kid. I never watched the cartoon. Probably a pretty sweet 90s tune, but had tons of toys too. I just only had so much time as a kid even. So didn't get into that one. We got Batman Forever, which is another one that I weirdly skipped over. Didn't get any Batman stuff. I'm not sure if I was just, maybe this was when I was more into Power Rangers more or something like that, but I always had the other Batman stuff from the other two movies, but once Batman Forever came around, I didn't have any of these, but they look pretty awesome, of course, especially when you're getting the other villains and things. Look at these crazy vehicle and arrays, weaponry for Batman. And I always did like the Batman Forever car, the way it was, had these big wings on the back. I do remember getting some of this Legends of Batman, where it was like Batman throughout history. It had like Buccaneer Batman and then like futuristic Batmans and things. This 100th edition Batman, probably pretty awesome. And from the animated show, I probably only had a small handful, even though I did watch that cartoon a lot. Not sure what the difference in the Crime Squad is, because it looks like the same animated figures are in there. But the Total Justice, kind of like a Justice League toy line for the 90s. They definitely have a video about these. You can go over the whole group. That's a good watch. Again, it was always Batman, 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 and finally we have, some other superheroes besides Batman. Of course, he's right there anyway, but at least something different. Ooh, Beast Wars here. Not one I was into. Didn't get into the Transformer stuff in general, but I do always remember seeing these creature ones. Pretty awesome idea. I bet this hits some nostalgia notes for somebody watching here. Probably pretty pricey ones possibly too. The animated Superman cartoon I actually liked a little bit better than the Batman one, because I always liked the more superpowered and stuff. I did have a few of these because I liked the cartoon so much. Here we have the Kryptonian suit that was actually in the Man of Steel toy line prior. I have a video all about the vehicles and things from that toy line, as well as the figures. That's worth checking out. I'm not sure if we'll be getting into the animated series, but we could. Superman with like a net. But I liked that this Superman, he needed like a spacesuit or a scuba suit to survive. He wasn't like all invincible, He was kind of powered down to be a little more stakes to watch. Of course, we got like some baby and preschool kind of toys they were advertising, because they did make, of course, a giant sand playset for your twucks. I have lots of twucks! So many twucks here. Of course, more like preschool, like smaller kid ones, and then a little bit bigger kid have the more realistic ones there. Mighties. Didn't really have much of that. Much more into superhero-y stuff at that time. Not so much a lot of these vehicle toys, but interesting. Got a wild playset here for those. Let me know if you had these, give me some tidbits, because a lot of the stuff I don't really know too much about. Of course, the remote control cars at the time were definitely big. Remember this one that you could always get flipped over and keep going? It's kind of a cool design. Always wanted to try out driving one of these motorcycle ones. Were those hard to do? It seems like very difficult to be driving. Oh, and all the Nerf guns at the time, they were always advertising so that whoever had the coolest Nerf gun to be shooting at the other nerds. Of course, they weren't really allowed on my playground, I don't think, at school. Can't bring those guns in. Classic ball shooter. Definitely remember a lot of these being advertised like crazy. Not sure if I really had too much Nerf stuff either. Looks like they tried to make some little foosball kind of things or something. And then, of course, this, ended up as a new Olympic sport, the cross ping pong. Nice try there, trying to get something new going. I don't know, maybe it's kind of fun. Who knows? Of course, all the balls and football stuff. Nerve. This is one of those voice command ones. Fire. Other guns, we got Dragonheart, still doing toyetic movies. They They can make some big old dragon toys. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. This is probably an old one I need to watch just because. Action Man! Barbies for boys. We got big G.I. Joe style dolls. Pretty cool, but I don't really like the bigger size like that, but I can see where you'd be into that. Here's where they tried to revive G.I. Joe itself, G.I. Joe Extreme, with some very 90s muscle-bound versions. Kind of lacking the articulation of like the smaller G.I. Joes. Not sure if this one's remembered quite as fondly. But let me know if you had these as a kid. I love these time capsule books, and I always kind of show a lot of my old collection stuff here and finish collections too, or even start them if I never got to have them as a kid. Looking through books like this definitely reminds me of some that I'm like, ooh, I wish I had that and that and that and this and that. I might want to get subscribed here and check out the next video of some of these. Definitely showed some of these vintage, if you were going to count 1996 as vintage, right here on the channel. So hopefully I'll get to see you in one of those vids.